Hey, what's up guys? The Evolved Bomber has blasted its way into the arena and it's broken beyond belief. You only need to cycle one bomber to get to the evolution and then it gets a bomb that bounces. It doesn't just bounce once, it bounces twice, dealing full damage both times for a full range of 11.5 tiles. Every regard, it's a better magic archer. Because it has splash damage, it's easier to align and it does way more damage. And when you play the Evolved Bomber with cards like Goblin Drill that force the opponent to drop units in front of their tower, it feels like cheating. Because if they don't defend against the Goblin Drill, they're going to take damage from the goblins, but if they do, they lose to the Evolved Bomber. Already after release, this deck rushed to #1 in the world, and it was played in the top 200 in the world last season with just Evolved Skeletons. Now with both evolutions together, it feels utterly unstoppable. It's time to evolve our explosives to effortlessly evaporate our opponents and assert dominance. And lots of love to everyone that's supporting the channel with credit code SirTag. Hey, what's up for Rico? So we definitely want to be going in for our bomber as soon as we possibly can. Usually I like splitting my wall breakers first play, but when we got the bomber evolution, it only costs one evolution to get to the evolved one. Obviously, we're gonna cycle it first. There's literally like no downside. What can they do? They can arrows it for a -1 trade and do damage to your tower, but like, not even that good. Not that good of a trade for you at all, arrowsing on that, because then you have no arrows for our wall breakers or our evolved skeletons. It's pretty nasty. So I'm going to go for our Little Prince, destroy that, and if he graveyards, we're easily able to poison to full counter, and then we can go for wall breakers to pull back the knight so he doesn't do any damage to our tower with that. So as you can see, he is yawning because he's not able to snack on any of our tower. He has to go and have a food coma and fall asleep, you know? That's the strategy for him. He has to have that substitution out here. I can go for a Goblin Drill in front of the tower, and then I can go in for a Bomber, and generally they're going to drop something to counter it. Oh, I think this guy is slightly scared of the Bomber evolution. He should be, though. I'm going to wait, and then I think... No, I can't. I can't splash onto the tower. It's kind of like Magic Archer geometry. You have to have the alignment. Not necessarily as good as a Magic Archer, because it's more forgiving. But if you have the alignment, then go for it. Don't just randomly spam it at the river, because that's a recipe for King Tower activation for the opponent every time. So, this is what we wanted. Him cycling the knight right here is not the strategy he should be doing. I wonder how many yawns he's going to give me. Wait. If I actually click the bomber directly into this, I know that I dropped it into a poison, but I think it's worth it. That's 2 shots in the tower for 800 damage apiece for 2 elixir. That is just so stupid. That's like 2 rockets. You know, rocket costs 6 elixir, and I'm spending 2 for double the damage. I love that, guys. That's 12 worth of direct damage right there. Only for 2. That is a huge plus 10 elixir trade. Basically, if you are trying to get direct damage and your opponent's trying to get direct damage, if you can just get that value with a bomber, even though you're sacrificing it, it's well worth it. So I want to go in for another bomber here just this cycle. It only costs 2 elixir, so there's really no downside. We're going to go in for the poison, and then we're going to go for our evolved skeletons on the knight. Nope, screw it. We're going to go for a bomb tower, and then we're going to go for a Little Prince. I think going for a Little Prince is actually even better because it allows us to have the 3-card cycle. He is desperately going in for a poison there for any source of damage he can get. Wait, what if I do one of these? I split everything up and show him what's up. I think we can click the Little Prince ability as well, so we're able to tank for the Evo Skeletons. Then we're going to go in for the Bomber in front. He's going to lose the game because of his Barbarian. He isn't even ready for this. This is so dumb. Look at that. 2 shots on the tower because we dwindled his elixir down to nothing. He had no elixir to respond to the Bomber because we spammed so hard on the other side. Even though we didn't get damage with the Evolved Skeletons or the Little Prince, it didn't even matter because all we were trying to do was deplete his elixir, so he had nothing to go and counter the Evolved Bomber. It's dumb, but this is what this deck does. It dumbfounds the opponent, so they have no possible counter for your spam. And when you're both at a low amount of elixir, the Evolved Bomber takes like a Fireball to kill, and sometimes opponents don't even have Fireball in their deck. If opponents have any leftovers after defending against your spam, their towers won't be left over. The Bomber is bound to blast everything down as long as it has 1 card to latch onto. All right, we got to give it an All-Star. So y'all already know, I think the Skeletons might be the All-Star of the show today. With our opponent spamming Skeletons and us spamming Skeletons, I think it's going to be Skeleton City. So I'm going to go for our wall breakers soon. And wow, the skeletons are coming out in the form of wall breakers, bombers. We've got every sort of skeleton, I guess. And he's probably got Giant Graveyard. We're assembling Exodia. Every skeleton card in the game. Okay, well, one day we'll all be skeletons just like this Giant Graveyard push. And that's not going to be good for him. He is going to lose this. He might even lose his mind because... in my opinion, I think that if the bats don't kill the Little Prince, he's going to lose the Giant and he won't get much counter push from anything if he decides to like defend the left-hand side. He'll probably go in for some bait card and it'll just die. And then we can go for wall breakers in the right because he's not going to have skeleton army, so he'll have to go for bats. And the bats aren't going to be able to counter it because he's not going to drop it fast enough, right? Yeah, let's go. I knew it. So identifying your opponent's elixir is one of the key points of this deck. If you know that they're a bit down, you make them frown and you punish them. And that's exactly what we did. And now we know that he doesn't have skeleton army, and he still doesn't have like a good answer to the goblin drill, besides maybe like a bowler that he'll drop directly on top, right? Oh, he's dropping the bowler in the back. Dang it. I was so hopeful that he would drop it on top, so then we could do non-stop value. Oh, you know what? If I go Little Prince, I could pop the ability, hold the bowler in place, and then drop an Evo Bomber, and then blast down the bowler with that. This might seem really stupid, but it's the best sort of magic archer. Look at that. I got a positive elixir trade, baiting out arrows, and did 400 damage, and killed his bowler. Isn't that dumb? That's ridiculous. There's no way that that should be allowed in this game, but I guess that's what we're rolling with today. Oh, you know what? I bet you my guy has to go in for a skeleton army, and we can pre-poison it. Because he doesn't have his arrows in cycle, so he has the skeleton army. Get a snowball instead. Okay, that makes sense. But he loses the majority of his tower. You know what? What if we just did one of these where we knock back your giant graveyard push so it doesn't cross the river, and then we can go in for a royal delivery on top of the Evo bats and just annihilate everything. Yo, if we're able to somehow defend against 2 giants with a royal delivery, that would be insane. There's no way that this should be legal. I think we're breaking the game. This should be put to shame. There's no way. I can poison here. The bat's going to die. The giant's going to get slowed down. We can go in for a Little Prince on defense. There's no shot the bowler takes out my tower. We just had to conserve enough elixir to go for the Little Prince, so then we would stop any onslaught of spam at the river, because if you went for bats, it would go into Little Prince. And I think we got this. We win. 20 seconds remaining. We're just going to tick down the clock. Well, our dude is most certainly ticked off in this match, because I don't think that there was anything he could do. There is nothing more unfun and unfair than matching into a goblin drill deck that permanently keeps you in a prison on your side of the map. To jump into the game against DJ, he's got the goblin giant banner, so that's probably what he's going to be playing. I mean, that atrocious card, you look at it, it's disgusting, it's repulsive. No one wants that thing on their banner unless they actually play the card. So, I mean, maybe this guy is kind of a sellout, and he's trying to use the goblin giant as a mind game. That might be the play, actually. Oh, he's going to Evo Bomber me too. Okay. I see how it is. And you've evolved to be running Tornado with it. Oh my gosh. How much damage did I just take? That's crazy. I like lost half of my tower. Clash Royale is cooking. That was not something that should be possible, but I guess it works. Well, we do have Royal Delivery for that reason. We are able to crush bombers and make predictions, aka pseudo magic archers. So I'm going to go in for a bomb tower here. He's not going to have the bomber cycle just yet. So if you didn't know, drop your bomb tower directly on top of the goblin drill if they don't have the evolved bomber in cycle, because you're able to guarantee a lot of extra value. Because he can't go in for the bomber. The evolved bomber wasn't in cycle. He wasn't able to splash onto our bomb tower. And the bomb tower comfortably cleans up the rest of the goblins. Oh, wait. Let's be a menace. Let's go in for skeletons here and bomber. Let's just spam at the river, because these skeletons are going to force out elixir, and if he drops something to activate King Tower, then he still has to deal with the bomber afterward, and then he's probably going to take a terrible trade. Because that was 2 elixir spent for me, my guy. Look at that. I spent 2 elixir, and he's just trashed. That's it. It's so dumb. We actually exerted his entire elixir bank to defend that, and it wasn't enough. He still lost like 90% of his tower there. He's left with 55 HP in a dream. All right, I mean, I guess I could still lose this because my tower's in shambles and left too. I'm going to go in for our ability here, and then we're going to go for wall breakers, and we're going to go for evolved skeletons to the left. Just because I want to be an everlasting nuisance. Oh, okay, well, I guess they're dead because they're single file aligned, so I don't have to respawn. So instead of responding, I want to make him respond to our evolved bomber spam again. I think we can get back to it really quick. I'm just going to sack the tower here. Or actually, no. Let's go Little Prince so we can preserve it in the face of goblins. It might not seem like the smartest decision, but I want to force out more elixir from my guy. Yeah, we get a poison out of him. That's not something that he wants to drop ever. Also, the evolved bomber is gone. We can go for skeletons if you didn't know that. Full counters the wall breakers for a +1 elixir trade. It's actually one of the best ways of countering it in the entire game. We're going to poison here. I just want to be able to kill the bomb tower so the goblins can maybe lock onto the tower. I can also go for an evolved bomber here, and just to guarantee that we snag it for 2 elixir. It does seem kind of worth for me. And then we can go for Little Prince, we can go for skeletons, and then we can go for more drill skill. So if you guys aren't ready for the thrill of the drill, that is what is happening in this game. And also, this guy is really good. Like, he hasn't given me very many openings. He knows the refined placements to go and counter. Like, he's just really good at the game. We're going to go for a royal delivery and try to make a prediction on the Evo Bomber that's going to come down. Yes, sir. I knew you were going to do that because we lined it up for you, man. We served you a pitch, and you had to take it. And obviously, it didn't work out so well for him. right, we're gonna go for skeletons, and I wonder if the spooky skeletons are able to lock. Come on, please! Wait, this is hilarious. We can go Evo Bomber here. We can go in for the bomb tower afterward. It should be able to block most of his stuff. It's gonna pull the wall breakers too. My man is so desperate right now. Honestly, I feel a little bit bad for him. Oh, no. That's gonna possibly... Oh, I was thinking he was gonna have the Evo Bomber. The Evo Bomber would lock onto my drill and then also lock onto me too. That would be horrible because it splashes for so long. Okay, so he's gonna be back to Evo Bomber right now because he just cycled the regular one. Let's just keep up the spam so he's not able to. Also, if we go for skeletons in the middle, I think that might be smart. And then we can go wall breakers because obviously if you look at the game, he has to always go in for counters against our drill because he can't afford to eat any damage. We can just poison twice and win, so that's what we're going to go for. Oh, he's poisoning too. Wait, what if I just like Little Prince in the middle and try to cheese you? Does that work? Do I get a hit? I get one, but it wasn't enough. Oh, it was! Let's go! I didn't believe in the Little Prince. And having absolutely no faith in him paid off because he punished our opponent in a huge way. I didn't expect him to slay through a cannoneer tower because that thing eats Little Princes for breakfast. Even though Tornado allows a lot more damage potential with the Evolved Bomber, the Royal Delivery allows you to make predictions against the Bomber to completely shut it down. On to the next one, Z-More. I really thought you were going to be like Zombie or something. There's so many people with the name Zombie or Trainer in front of their name because there's Trainer Cheddar in the training camp in Clash Royale, so everyone thought they were so fancy and unique and original for creating that name. But I think Z-More is pretty original. I don't even know what that is from. Does he like s'mores and he wants more? I don't know. We're gonna be going for our Little Prince at the start of the game, and we definitely want to blast through with our bomber on the left-hand side. I don't necessarily love dropping the drill just yet because I don't know what other splash damage the guy's gonna have. We'll drop our drill eventually in the right-hand side because it's gonna be paired with the Little Prince, and I could go and pop the ability. Oh no, it's gonna be a Lava Hound deck. Okay. All right. Guys, Lava Hound is spooky and scary when you only have a few answers in your deck. AK, Poison, and then possibly just your Little Prince, and that's about it. We're going to go for a Poison here to finish off the bats, and I think those are going to be evolved for sure with the Bomber. Bomber, Bats, and then I think Barbarians are the three things that you see in Lava Hound decks. You might not have the Evolved Bomber, though. Maybe it just has Evolved Barbarians and Evolved Bats. I think that's what it's going to be, actually, because we saw the Barbarians and we saw the Bats. We didn't see the Bomber. There's the Lava Hound, as expected. So we're going to go through with our Little Prince, and I'm going to expect him to go in for Barbarians to counter the Goblin Drill. So we don't want to go in for Wall Breakers because we're going to be feeding him a huge positive elixir trade. If we go for the Bomber, we're spending 6 elixir with the Drill and then also the Bomber. And we're forcing out, okay, we're forcing out 6 as well. Not terrible for us, but also not something where we're going to be triumphant. I want to go for Wall Breakers, and then I want to go and click the Delivery when we're able to go and pop this Lava Hound. Ideally, this will give us a huge positive elixir trade, sniping all those Lava Pups and defending against that Mega Minion so it doesn't target our precious Little Prince. All right, I want to go in for dual lane pressure with Evolved Skeletons because, oh no, that's not good. That's very bad, unless he can't afford the arrows. You might not be able to afford the arrows in time. Dang it, I think I might just lose. Those things just do so much damage. Crazy because they heal up with each attack, so you can't let them like snack on your tower for too long. They're essentially vampires. Wait, I understand the Z-More now. He's kind of akin to a zombie, but he's a vampire man. Okay, all right, I see you, dude. All right, I want to be able to go in for Wall Breakers because I don't want to spend any extra elixir in that side. I don't want to go directly into a Mega Minion. We're going to go for a Little Prince on the side that we have to. We'll go for the Bomber in the back, and I think we're going to go in for Skeletons plus our Drill. We have to start making some progress here or we're dead. We're going to drop our Bomb Tower in the most optimal placement, and then we can go in for the Delivery to preserve the Bomber for a little bit longer. If the Bomber locks onto the tower, we might be able to find something to happen in here. All right. Not looking great, but we might be able to get back to a Bomb Tower. Please? I think we did. Let's go. No way. We're defending this. Let's go, guys. That's insane. The Delivery was completely unnecessary, but that Bomb Tower popped off. That was miraculous. All right, let's go for this and then go in for Evolved Skeletons because he just used arrows. And then we can go Wall Breakers in the right. And I think we poison left because if we're able to get any damage here, we just win. Oh, it doesn't happen. We're going right into barbs. We have to Bomber here, go for another Drill to apply pressure, and then go for Skeletons, and then probably Delivery on all these Bats. If we can hit all the Bats, then I think we're okay. If we miss any of them, we're screwed. We're gonna have to go Barb counter with Wall Breakers, maybe? I don't know. Such a sketchy situation where we're always applying pressure. Like, there is relentless amount of aggression from both sides in this match. And I'm trying to force more elixir on the left-hand side so he doesn't get counter-pushing stuff that I have to deal with. All right, I could poison that, but that would be bad. I have a bad card cycle right now. I have a really bad card cycle. We're going to delivery, and then we're going to go wall breakers, and we're going to go bomber. I don't want to go in for a poison because I thought it would cost too much elixir. Oh my gosh, bats, please die. Don't kill my wall breakers today. We're going to go for Skeleton's evolution, and I don't know if they're going to be able to find their way through. He's just going to arrows on it as expected. Let's go wall breakers, pull back the mega minion, go for another bomber. As you guys can see, he's got all the tools in his tool belt, but he doesn't have enough elixir to afford them. They're too pricey. So we're going to delivery here, and we're going to poison. We're going to go wall breakers. Yo, I made a prediction. Let's go. The bats aren't able to kill. I think the bomber's going to lock into the tower if we're lucky. If we're just a little bit more lucky. No, it didn't happen. I spent it. I went for the delivery. I made the prediction, and it wasn't good enough. Come on, game. Please let me win this. I need to go in for wall breakers or something. The goblins aren't going to be able to lock onto the tower. We're going to have to go for skeletons. The rail delivery locked onto the tower somehow. Okay. Say less, game. Say less. We're going to go in for another delivery. We're going to drill, and then I think we can go for a bomb tower to pull everything back and then poison them out. I should be able to win this game. This is one of the most rambunctious games I've played in my life, and I didn't even know what was happening because the map was cluttered with crap at the end. Eventually, we tunneled out with a W because Goblin Drill is direct damage. Meanwhile, my man's Lovehound balloon pushes were stuck in a maze of rail deliveries and bomb towers perpetually getting pulled all across the map. This deck's overpowered defenses secured us the win and popped the balloon. Hey, what's up, Taco? It's time to eat you alive. So y'all already know we gotta go and spam our skeletons here, and unfortunately a bomb tower. You know, I wasn't expecting the guy to have Zap with a Hog Rider, but I can almost guarantee he's going to be playing some wacky deck with P.E.K.K.A. or Mega Knight now. Most Hog Rider decks that are going to be fast cycle are going to be oriented with log because they want to be able to make predictions on top of people's skeleton armies or goblin gangs, and it just works out really nicely to counter goblin barrels. But if you're more of an adventurous foe, then you're probably going to be using a Zap with a Mega Knight for even more aggression. I think this guy's leveled up his aggregate aggression to his max stat. Oh wait, why do you have that? You've got Buller with Hog Rider? I wasn't ready, man. Okay, I want to be able to knock back the knight so we can preserve our precious little prince a little bit longer. I think he's gonna die, but he's gonna stay alive just long enough to maybe get the knight into the danger zone. So now I don't have to respond to the knight, which is great because now I can go for skeletons and save that. All right, we're going to bomb tower at the best timing possible to go and fully counter the Hog Rider. Then we're going to go for Skeleton Surround on top of the Bowler. We're going to go for Bomber off to the side as well. I believe we're fine. Obviously, the Bomber is a big boy. He soaks up 2 Bowler shots if you guys are unaware. So I was hoping that he would stay alive if we dropped our Little Prince. I did waste Elixir. He's going to go for Archers, which, I mean, I think is good for him because he's going to cycle the evolution. He drops it early because I guess he's scared of me spamming the ability, which I wasn't even going to drop. Never drop your ability unless you are up Elixir or you can guarantee that you're going to get value. The Little Prince ability is basically cycling a Knight, but you don't cycle your cards or progress your card cycle, so you're not going to be able to spam as many evolutions. So I don't love spamming the Little Prince ability unless I can get value from it, guaranteed. I'm going to go for Wall Breakers on the right-hand side, and we're going to go for Evolve Skeletons on top of the Bowler. He's going to Tornado, which is, I mean, pretty bad for him, actually. I would say he's spending a lot of extra Elixir, and that means that, you know, there's no way for him to kill these skeletons. They are going to start multiplying like mad. Even if he goes in for a Zap, imagine a universe where he uses a Zap and Tornado, and we can click the Little Prince ability and get in front of one of the skeletons. If that skeleton locks on the tower, I would have just won. Dang it! Curse you, Evolved Archers. How dare you do that to me? I deserve that tower. I have 1 Elixir. 1 Elixir definitely deserves the 3 crown, according to Clash Royale, that is. All right, well, I'm not salty about Evolved Skeletons. You're salty about Evolved Skeletons, guys. I've only lost to it 1 billion times. So I'm going to go in for our Wall Breakers here. We're going to force out an Inferno Towers. This is obviously not going very well for our homie. If we're able to poison on the Bowler, it's a declaration of dominance. It's like, hey, I don't need this Elixir. Let's see if you can break through. If you're going to Fireball and Zap, you're still not going to be able to stop me because I can go for Skeletons and Bomber, and I'm going to displace it in a different direction. I'm not going to drop it too early. And then the Bomber. Look at how clean the defense is. The Bomber's going to soak up the shot from the Bowler. Then we can go for more poisons. And sometimes you're not going to be able to break through with your Goblin Drill, and this shows how strong their defenses can be with Bowler, right? Even if we go for the Bomber. Oh, no, the Bomber hits the tower. Okay, say less. Stupid Magic Archer for 2 Elixir wins us the game. Maybe they're going to have to nerf this because I don't think that that's fair. Dropping a 2 Elixir card that has tower taking capability that's better than a 4 Elixir Magic Archer, I just don't see how that's fair at all. Not to mention its geometry is way more forgiving than a Magic Archer 2. You have splash damage, unlike the Magic Archer, so it doesn't have to be in the perfect alignment. You can kind of just throw it down, and if it's in a decent spot, it's going to guarantee 400 or 500 damage every time. And in that situation, it immediately won us the game. I don't know what else we were expecting, but broken cards always break down towers. Blast the like button if you enjoyed today's video, subscribe for more daily content, and have an amazing rest of your day.